Yo guys, what's up? It's a lovely sunny Saturday here in England. My wife's at work. I'm going to make you a video. And this one's aimed particularly for people around the 1,000 mark who are trying to get to the 1,000 mark. So I had a challenge earlier on from my buddy OK Chess Player 48 from Singapore. And I had the white pieces. And we got into a Vienna game. But what we're going to do here is, so they were chatting with me during the game saying, yeah, how can I get up to 1,000 and beyond, right? And so this is what we're going to focus on. And it really is a case of breaking down the decision-making process. And in this short video, we're just going to focus on one move in particular. Okay, so I have e4, e5. And I play the Vienna. Now, this is the Andersen defense, brings out his bishop to here, and actually the best move here is queen h5. So it's like a wayward queen attack. You don't have your bishop out here yet, looking at f7, but that will happen soon enough. But the immediate issue, we'll just lead you up to the thing. Immediate issue is that you're attacking this pawn, and the bishop behind it, and then also g7, if you're allowed to take that. So for example, if they do something silly like knight f6 to try and kick the queen away, you get that with check, they have to block, and it's all going to end in tears. Okay, so normal moves here, knight c6 to defend the pawn, queen out here or here to defend the pawn. Alright, so OK Chess Player plays knight c6, perfectly good move. I bring out my bishop, and now I am targeting this, and there's a threat of mate in 1. Okay. So he brings out his queen to e7, and it's move 5 that we are going to focus on. Right. And we're going to be looking at the difference. So, yeah, what's the difference between an 880 and a 1660 rated player? But it's more than that, right? It really describes the journey, right? This is like a roadmap for how to improve. Now, if you play the Vienna, you will be familiar with the next move that I play, which is very, very thematic. And it's to come in with the knight here, right? So anytime the queen comes to one of these two squares, you'll be looking to jump into d5 with your knight, hit the queen, and try and shoo her away. Now, that's the move that I play. And this is where we're going to stop things, and this is where we're going to break things down. Okay, so my opponent now thought for 33 seconds, okay? This is a 10-minute rapid. So 33 seconds is not a huge amount of time, it's a useful amount of time. And he actually played a blunder move, right? Which is queen back here. Because I was then able to capture the knight, and then after queen captures, I come in here with check, and yeah, he's already down a knight for 2 pawns, but I get a 3rd pawn, and then there's nothing really he can do to save the rook, so he ends up losing his rook as well. Now, but that's not the point. That's not what I came here to talk to you about. The point is, from this position. Now, first thing I have to say is, somebody's 880, I would say, unless you can do what I'm about to show you, in the time available, you need to allow yourself more time. And we had a conversation about this in the chat. You know, they're saying, so I mean, my first point was you need to play longer time controls. Because that's how you get fitter, that's how you get stronger. You need to exercise your brain, you need to exercise your thinking, and you need to give yourself time to do that. To be sure that you have figured out the best move on every turn. The best move within your ability, not the best move, not what Stockfish says is the best move, right? But the best move that you can find and that you're confident that you have. Now, so let's flip the board here. And we're going to break this down. Okay, so the process of deciding what move to play in chess, I mean, that's all chess is. Right? I get a turn, you get a turn, we make a move each, continue until someone wins, right? So that process, we can break it down into various things. First of all, the first step is that you need to notice what's just changed, what happened on the board, right? And the way that I recommend that you best do that is that you talk to yourself like a nutcase and describe everything that's changed in order of priority and importance. So let's do that, okay? So we're going to describe what changed. Then we're going to identify what's critical, right? What's the most important thing? Then we're going to say, okay, now we have framed the problem. How might we solve the problem? And we want to come up with multiple potential ideas, and then we need to evaluate which of those ideas is best. So my knight's just come in here. Now for black, the critical thing is my queen is under attack, right? That's number one. Number two is the knight is also attacking c7, and if the knight gets to capture c7, then there's a fork on king and rook. Okay, now bear with me because this is very, very important. So, I mean, there are ideas like, one thing I thought of was, oh, could he push d6, but that drops the queen, right? d6 is the discovered defense against, of the pawn. Okay, so that is what's critical here. So then what we need to do is we need to say, okay, let's frame the problem. The problem is this. One, queen is being attacked. Okay. Now, a lot of beginners will say, my queen is being attacked, I must move my queen, and then they stop thinking. And it's absolutely critical that you don't do that. You've got to get into the habit of not stopping thinking at a certain point. And you just go, shutters go down, and you go, I'll move my queen here, or I'll move my queen here, or move my, whatever, right? Ain't necessarily so. So here's the problem. The problem is the queen is being attacked, and c7 is being attacked. And so my opponent thought, well, I've got really two squares I can go to, and picked one. That's what I imagine happened. Okay. So are there any other solutions to our problem? Well, as I've made a couple of videos on different ways to respond to attacks. Okay. So let's think how we might solve this problem. Okay. So one is we could move the queen to here or here, but we've seen what happens there, right? In the game, he moves there, I took anyway, and then bang bang, and his king is not checkmate, but he this is the point where he lost the game. Now, what else is possible from here? Well, anytime you're under attack, there's about 12 different things that you can do. Can you capture the attacker? Well, no. There's nothing that can capture the knight. Okay, so that's out of the question. Can you block the attack by interposing another piece? Well, actually, no, because it's a knight that's attacking, and you can't block a knight, because knights teleport from there to there. They jump. It's the only piece that does that. So you cannot block an attack from a knight. Okay, so that's two we can strike off. Can I check my opponent? Yes, well, actually, I've got this. So, that is something that's worth exploring. Okay, well, if I do that, right, so let's say bishop takes pawn here, king's in check, king has to move. Does that really help me? Well, not really. Or if king takes bishop, I can't come here with check, and I can't come here with check either, because there the knight takes me, there the queen takes me, and I've gained nothing, okay? But it's good to exercise your thinking in that way. Right, so what else can you do? Well, another option is we've got evade, get out of the attack, and you can't go there or there, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, but again, here and here you'll get taken. So that there are 3 squares that you could go to evade the attack. But the problem is that all of them are quite bad. Okay, now what else can we do? Is there anything else that we can do when we're being attacked? Well, yes, there is. Another option that you have is to launch a counterattack of your own against a piece of equal or greater value. Right? So at least match the danger levels, as Levy puts it. So here, another move, and in fact the best move that black actually has, is this. Okay, and we'll go into this. So the board's changed colour because we've broken out of the live game. And now, if knight takes queen, we take the queen back. Right? Then he might take our knight, and we take his knight, and so on. And that's okay. You know, we're down nothing. Right? We're not even down material after we recapture the knight. Okay. What about if we instead of this move, we play this, and if queen takes, it's fine. We win the queen. What about if knight takes on c7 now? Well, now, for example, I could just move the king here, and the knight can't afford to take the rook because he loses his queen, right? So now the problem is now white's. White now is in a position where he has to move his queen, so he might move it here and then loses his knight. And we're actually up a knight for a pawn in this instance, okay? So we reframe the problem, okay? So it's not just that. Here's the thing. In this position, right? My queen is being attacked, my pawn is being attacked. So the solution isn't necessarily that I have to move my queen and I have to save my pawn. Do you see the difference? Right? The solution is, how can I stop my opponent from winning my queen? So we're reframing the problem that we need to solve here. Okay, and here with this move, it's a counter-attack of equal value. And again, if knight takes, you just take back. Problem solved, right? Knight takes. You know, this isn't playable. This isn't playable. Just loses his bishop again. Okay, so we reframe the problem. It's not that I have to save my queen or I have to move my queen. We need to take it down almost to the lowest common denominator and say, okay, how can I stop my opponent winning my queen? Right, winning a queen for a knight. Well, when you frame it like that, that's when you can open up your possibility, because if you define the problem only as I have to save my queen, then you come down to a choice of 3 bad moves. They're all bad. However, if you open up and just broaden your thinking somewhat to say, okay, my queen is being attacked, what can I do? Then you may give your brain the permission to find alternative candidate moves. And the counterattack is always an option, right? Well, it's not always an option, but it's an option that you should always consider. So counterattack and we're all fine. So you see the difference. So one thing I recommend, and I put this to OK Chess Player in the chat, is try and get into the habit of every time that you think that you've found the best move that you can find, force yourself to do this thing. Force yourself to come up with one more candidate move that may in some way solve your problem. And that is a huge benefit. If you can get into the habit of doing that, you will improve quite rapidly at chess, because that's when you will suddenly open up your mind to giving yourself the permission to find new solutions, better solutions. Okay, so there you go. And it's fascinating, isn't it, how much we can find in just one move. But that is your path to success. That is your path to improvement. Okay, so I hope that's been useful for everyone. And OK Chess Player 48, thanks very much for the game. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you soon.